Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to create a module in React. A module is basically a nice pop-up window that you see in most web applications. You can put anything in them, you can put a form, you can put whatever you want to put in. And you often see this in frameworks like Bootstrap, or you can see you can create it with jQuery or JavaScript. So in today's video I'm going to show you how you can build this using just React.js and pure CSS, no framework or whatever. So this tutorial is not like something that is kind of difficult. It's not a rocket science tutorial. It's a very simple basic React tutorial with just little React and some CSS and CSS animation. We're going to create this. And then okay, before we go into our code, let's quickly see what we're going to be building together. You can see this black navigation bar with a button. Once you click the button, you can see the module popping with a form inside. You can put anything, whatever you want to put inside. You can see this cancel icon here. You can see the login button and the cancel button. So if you click in the icon, it goes away. You can also use the cancel button to take it away. Once you click the cancel button, it goes away. Alright, so and also I'm going to show you how to change the animation. Like you can see this one now is a zooming animation. You can make this animation kind of sliding from the top. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. If you want to slide from the top, if you want it to zoom out just the way this is, you can so do it like that. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Let's go to our code editor and see how we can bring this to life. I've already created a React app. What you just need to do is just go to a convenient folder of your choice where you want to put your project, and then run the npm create react app nps create react app command line 2 that will create a React boilerplate for you. So that's what I did. I already created a React boilerplate, which is the React model folder. So opening that in our code editor, I already clean up the React project app, remove the files that we don't need, like the app.test file is gone, the logo is gone, and all the templates inside the app.js are already cleaned up. So it's a blank React application. So let's test it out by just putting an h1 and see. Okay, so you save and we just simply go back to run npm start. Run npm start, and this will start up the applications for us. Started, so let's quickly check it out. You can say okay, we have our hello world. That means our app is up and running. That's good. So what we're going to do now, inside our source file, we're going to create a component folder, call it components, and this folder we're going to create some couple of files. Create the navbar.js, and then also I'll create another file called the, let's call it the module container .js. Then another one called the module.js. okay, we're going to work with these 3 components. You can have more components, depends on how you want to session your code. So we're going to work with these 3, and first it gives you a snippet to create a template of a React template. Alright, so we have a navbar component, and then let's just give this a class name of navbar, and inside this navbar is going to contain the button, login button. So let's just make it a link. oops. Okay, we're gonna give this a link a class name. Let's call it module btm. Alright, if we save this, I will come to our app.js. Then we have to nest our navbar component here. Alright, so you see immediately as I'm typing it, I hit enter, it auto imports it for me. This is achieved by an extension I installed, which is called React Redux ES7 React Redux extension. This is an extension you can install in your Visual Studio Code. It will help you out when you typing out a component, hit enter, it auto imports it for you. So that's for that. Okay, now let's go to our styling, our style index.css, and then create some basic style for the navbar class. And let's remove every default margin. Set the margin to 0, set the width to 100% as the full width of the page. Then the height, give it a height of 60 pixels. Give it a background color. Let's give the background color of black, which we used in the previous time example. Okay, now for our module button, other btm, we're going to create a basic button style, which is going to give the padding 10% top and bottom, 30% left and right. Then I want to be at the right hand side of the navbar, so I'm going to float it right. Then give it a color of white. The text color should take white. Create a little margin at the right side, margin right. Let's give it to set the border to 0. Don't want any border. Give it a background. You can use any. Let's just give it a background of red background. Remove every text decoration. Okay, now if we save this, and okay, let's move this first. I will save our just okay. Alright, let's give a little padding. Yeah, I think we have to put a padding here. Get a padding of 10%. Top and bottom, then 0 left and right. Save. Okay, I think that's cool. Okay, now let's give some over effects to the button. So on the module btm, on the over, let's change the background color to something like a little bit gray. Let's say dark gray. save it. Okay, all right, I think that's good to go. Okay, then that's for the navbar. So let's go move over to the module container. Okay, the module container is basically the, like in our demo, this kind of dark background behind the module. So this is the module container. So we're going to start it now. Let's create a style for it. All right, create our basic component. Use our create our basic component. Let's call it module wrapper. It's going to wrap in the module component. So the module component we created, we're going to import it to, we created one module file here. We'll not put anything inside, so it's going to be here. So we're going to import it. Okay, and that's for that. Okay, all right. Now this is our basic module container. I'm going to save this now, and this module, there's nothing here first. Then we're going to give this a class name. Let's give it a class name of module content. Okay, this module content, we're going to have a div, a div of class name. Let's give the module header. You can just copy it and copy and paste. One more time. Then this will be the module body and the module footer. Okay, it's basically going to continue, let's say, on h2. Use the component, should contain your header, call it a module, login module, and also it's going to contain a span, which is going to be the span for our little console icon. To get that icon, you simply use this by using this times to give you the close icon. So give it a class name of let's say close btn. Okay, then here it's gonna be let's put in some dummy paragraph here first. What's wrong with me? Okay, here's your module footer. I don't know why I can't type learn E today. Okay, the container. We're going to import it here, call it a module container. Okay, we have it imported already. Alright, so if we save okay, you can see it is showing now. So we're going to apply some CSS to make this look nice. Okay, alright, let's go back to our CSS file. So first of all, we're going to start the module wrapper. We're going to give the position of fist, top 0, left 0. We're going to give the Z index of 1. I want it to come up above the nav bar and the button, on top of them. So we give the Z index of 1. We'll give it a width. I want to take the full width of the page. The height, I'm going to take the full width and the height. So we're going to give the background color. Give it a background of RGBA. It's going to be like a light gray background. You can tune this one, depends on how dark you want it to be, like this. And then I'm going to set the overflow to hidden. So if we save, you can see the module just like in the demo. Let me show you again in the demo. You can see when we clicked it, this dark this gray background here. That's what we did now. So it depends on how dark you want it to be. You can tweak this opacity. You can change it to like 4, 2 if you want it not to be too dark. You can see the way it look. So that's for that. And okay, the module content class, we're going to give the background of kind of a little of white, but it's still white. Choose the portrait, depends on how big you want your module to be. So I specify a close time margin. I'm going to control the position of our module with this margin. Depends on where you want your margin to be. How far do you want to be from the top? So you can specify 10% left and right auto. So what this will do, it would place the body container at the center of the page, and 10% from the top and bottom. Auto left and right means it should be at the middle of the very page. Okay, and I'm going to apply a boss shadow. RGBA. Okay, then specify another value of 0.7%, 20%, 0 RGBA. So if we save and then let's preview. Alright, you can see the module container boss. So if you want it to go a little bit further, you can just change the position. You can give it 20. If you give it 20, the margin and top and bottom 20, sorry, you see it pushes down a little. So it depends on where you want to position it, from top and bottom. You have to tweak this value. um, then okay, so let's quickly style in the study um, module header and then module. Okay, for the class, you have a period at the beginning. Okay, we're gonna leave the background of any color of your choice. We're gonna give it set the color to white. And give it a little padding. I'll say 20 pixel. Okay, and the remove any default margin that comes with H2, and that's for this. Just give it a text transformation of let's say uppercase. Then we have a close button inside the close button inside the model header, which you're going to move to the right hand side, so we're going to flow to it, right? I'm going to set increase the font size by saying font size equals to 30 pixel. Okay, let's see if I can check what we are doing. Okay, you can see the heading is already taking shape. Just the alright, to save time, I'm going to copy the form that was in the demo and paste it inside the module body container. So I just copy the form. Basically, your module body container can take in any content you want to put in your own module. So I just placed this font, the font that was in the demo, just copied it and placed it here. And there's nothing too serious, there's no style yet. So what I'm simply going to do now to save time, I'm also going to copy the style for the form from the demo and paste it. Then I'll explain the form. Will give the form a border of 3 pixels solid and white, and then the two inputs, which is the text input and the password input, we give it a width of 100 pixels. We give it a little padding margin. We have to display in line block, and we have a border and border sizing, box sizing, I mean. Then we give it style for the button. You can see set of styles for the button. We say the button should take a background color of a light blue, and we give it a padding, a margin. These are just basic CSS style. And then our module footer will give it a style of padding 10 pixels, and then the button we give it an over button over effect. Then the two buttons at the bottom will give a cancel button and a login button. We ask the flows left and take a width of 50 pixels each, and then the clear fist after we clear the boot. Alright, so this is the we have our basic HTML form that we have in demo inside the login module. So the bottom line is not actually how to create a form. So I believe you already know how to create a form. If it's a form you want to put in your own model, or whatever you want to put in your own model, I believe you know how to style them. So let's do the React magic on how to toggle. So now we've done with all the styling, and then okay, first of all, in our CSS we'll turn the what's it called, yeah, the model wrapper. We don't want it to show initially, so we're going to set it to display none, because when the page loads you don't want to see the model. so save it so the model will initially disappear. As for that, yes, I want to create a simple state here, and that state is going to be set, is going to be hold a boolean value which is true or false. We're going to hold a boolean values which initially it is false, and okay, so in this place we're going to use state hooks. Use state is a React hooks that allows us to create state in functional components, and here we're going to create a simple state and array the structure. I'm going to call the state open. I'm going to add a function to change the state which is set open. This is a kind of a traditional way of doing it. I believe you are familiar with this already. Okay, so the initial value of our state is going to be false because it's going to be hold a boolean value, and then that is the our initial state is open, the property is open, the value is false, and this is a function that we can use to change the state to false or true. All right, so that's the initial state. So what we're going to do now, we are going to hide the model for as long as the state is false, but when it is set to true, we're going to show the module container. So how we're going to do that now? So we're going to pass our state into our module container. So you know how to pass states to props. So we're going to pass the states. Props is simply a way for us to pass data from parents to child component. So so we're going to create a, let's just call it any name, let's say show will be equals to the state which is open. That's the state name which we created here, open. So we're passing the state as a props to this module container. So in this module container we already have we're going to grab the data from here. We're going to say props, and what we're going to do is this: we're going to create a check for the state based on the props which is attached to this props. In this class we're going to say simply do something different. I'm going to use template features here instead of our normal because we're going to add a variable here. We're going to use template features, and how we're going to do that is simply we're going to create a check here. Use the JavaScript ternary operators to input our state check here. And basically ternary operators is like an alternative better way of writing conditions to check for short terms to check for conditions. So what we're going to do is this: we have in our props the state which is called open, right? No, the variable we used in our app name was okay, show. So we should target the show here. So props.show, that's our state. Okay, we're going to check in the ternary operator. We're going to check if the state which is we store in the property of a show is going to check if it is true. We're going to add a class active. If it's false, it's going to return an empty string. So this is what we are adding to the module CSS class. We are additionally adding another class to it based on the state based on the state. So we are checking if the state is false, you should add an empty string which is nothing, but if it is true, you should add a class of what. So in that case, what we're going to do is simply if we open our console, and then these are module wrapper. So I have a Chrome extension installed which is the React developer tool. I believe you have it already. So okay, it shows us the states, the props and all. Now you can see the state is set to false. Now if I change the state here to true, If I change it to true, let's check in our element. You can see in the modeled wrapper a class of active is added to it. That means it's working. So let's change it back to false. We should have false. My spelling, sorry. False. And then if you come back to maybe you see the active class is gone. Okay, so that's working already. So what we're going to do is create a function that is going to change a very simple function, which is going to be open audio. It's going to be an arrow function. Sorry, it should start with a cons. Open audio. And what this function is going to do is basically going to return the set and open function, which is going to turn the value to true. Okay, that's what this function simply does. It changes the state to true. Remember, I told you that this set open is simply a function that is used to change the state. So it's changing the state now to true. We are returning it from this function. So we're going to pass this function as a props to the navbar, because the navbar is where our login button is that is going to open the module. So we're going to pass it as a props. We're going to call it open fn, which is open function, and that is simply going to take in this open module function. Alright, so that's it. So now we'll go to our navbar where we have our button. So we're going to have props, because we are passing the function as a props to this function. So what we're simply going to do, we're going to create an on-click handler here, an event handler here, on-click event handler, which is going to take in it's going to have taking an arrow function, that simply returns the function that is passed to the props, which is props dot what do you call the function again? Okay, open fn, props dot open fn. That's what this function simply does. So this so when we click on this button, it changes the state because of this function that was passed to this component as props. If you save, hopefully there's no error. Okay, there's no error. So that's, if we inspect again, now watching this audio wrapper Dave, if you click on the button, you can see it adds the active class to it. That's good. So remember that this login button is only used to open the module. So that's the only function of this button, to open the module. So it's adding the taking the module wrapper dot active, and this is simply going to change the display property to block. So we'll save and we come back, so you can see, let's refresh now. It's gone away. So once we click in this thing, it shows us the module form. Let's close it. It shows us the module form. Alright, so that's for that. So what we're going to do now, let's quickly work on this cancel button to move the module form. So that's going back to our app.js, we're going to create another function just like the way we created the open module function. We're going to create another very simple function which is to close a module. That's also going to be an arrow function. Which is eventually just going to change it back to false, change the state back to false. As simple as that. So this function, we're going to pass it as a props to the navbar also, because the cancel button is in the nav, no, not in the navbar, sorry. I'm going to pass it as a props to the module container, because the if you check the module container, this okay, we're going to pass it as a props. Let's create a props here, call it close, which is going to take in this function. So we're going to pass in this function of close module. So in the module container, we already have the props already, so the function is attached to the props. I want to pass it also as a props to the child element here, which is going to take props dot close. Okay, so we're passing the close function from the app.js, which is the close module function, which simply change the state back to false, and we are passing it to the module container here as props close. And here in the module container, we receive the props, and we also pass it again to the module component. We'll store it in a variable as height. So the props.close is, so in the module, let's open up the module now. We have it here as props, so we're going to receive it as props also. Receiving it as props, we can now go to the close menu. I'm going to add on click event handler here, which is going to simply handle for the click event. It's going to run a function which is an arrow function that's going to return the function in the props, which is simply props.hide, because that's the name we stored. Remember, in the module container we store it as hide, this hide property. So here we are calling the hide property, which is now a function because we're receiving a function. So when we click on this button, it should call the close, which is turn the state back to false. So we'll save this and then save. Let's check. Alright, and then when we open the module opens, and we'll close. When we click on it, closes back. So there's something we need to do. You can see when we open the module, we need to put a cursor pointer here on this close button, so when someone points and focus, take the mouse over to it, it should turn to cursor. So we're going to do that with CSS. So we're going to add the cursor pointer to it, so when you move your mouse over to it, it should. Okay, that's good. It's much better now. So when you click it, it goes away. When you open it here, when you click it, it goes away. So that's for that. So what we're going to do next is simply, if you check the module, we are calling the close function on this button. We also want to call this close function on the cancel button. We have a cancel button here, so we're going to call the same function here. we are almost done. So when we save, if we open, you can also use the cancel button to go out. Okay, so that is working already. You can either use the cancel button or you can use this button. So um, so what we're going to do next is simply add the animation to it. So the animation, so add give a name to the animation, that's the animation name. We're going to give it any name. Let's say module open, and we're going to set animation duration. Let's say animation duration. You can set it to any value. It can be 1 seconds. Me, I'm gonna make my zero point 0.5, 0.5 seconds. You can make it any and set it to the time you want. Then we're going to create this now using the CSS keyframe, and then you should know how to use the keyframe followed by the uh, animation name. So yeah, we're going to say from initial position, and we're also going to create another one and two to the final position. So from, we're going to set the initial opacity to 0, and then we're going to change the transform scale. Today I'm going to show you two ways of doing it. So we're going to say scale, set the scale to 0, so it's going to start from the scale of 0, means it's not going to show. Then 2, we're going to set the 2 opacity to 1, then the transform scale to 1. Then we're going to add a transition. We're going to add a transition to the opacity, and we're going to add, let's say 300 milliseconds. And we're also going to add to the transition to the transform, let's say 300 or so. Okay, okay, let's save this now, and if we go and refresh, okay, you can see the open, the zoom out animation is working. So when you click in zoom out, okay, that's for the zoom out animation. If you want to make it slide from the top, you can use the translate y. Let's give it y initially from -100% to 0. If we save it and refresh, if you click, you can see it slides from the top to the position, and click. So you can use any one of your choice. If you want to use the zoom out animation, you can use that. If you want to use the sliding animation, you can use that. So I think that brings us to the end of our module and tutorial. I understand that I was a little bit shaking because this is my first tutorial on YouTube, and please subscribe because I have great content lined up for this channel.